Hello and welcome back to another Marvel Champions live stream. Today we have two new heroes. We have Angel and we have Psylocke. Two new hero packs that come with some new aspect cards. We're going to dive in. We're going to unbox these. We're going to take a first look, get a good impression of the couple cards, and then do a first game with both of these heroes. This is not going to start our hero spotlight, but we will be starting that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. This is just a celebration of the heroes. Zyblai, how is it going? Welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. It is a good day. Lunacy, finally. Yes, it is, finally. Okay, alrighty, team. Which one are we opening first? Are we opening Angel or Psylocke? Psylocke, from what I understand and remember, is, all about the confused. She has the Psy knife and katanas. Angel is that form flipping, all about the aerial cards. We've got Angel getting open first. Hey, Joshi, how's it going? Good morning, good evening. Did you stay up or did you go to sleep from this morning's stream? Angel all day, please. Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's do Angel. Oh my goodness, I'm so pumped. Angel is one of those form flipping heroes that has three different sides to his hero card. So he emulates kind of the Ant-Man Wasp type hero structure. But instead of having like giant and tiny form, he has, oh, we can put this here, make it look professional. It looks professional if it's there. But he has Angel and Archangel. So pretty cool stuff. Beast Snow, I joined just in time for some pack openings. Yes, you did. Joshua was staying up but then slept for an hour. Perfect. That's all the energy I think we will need, because the hype of these two new heroes, I hope, is going to carry us very, very far in terms of awakeness. I have so much cellophane. I just unwrapped or unboxed Arkham Horror last night, or yesterday, not last night. It felt like last night, but I unboxed Arkham Horror, and now I'm unboxing Marvel. It's a good day. We got some new cards. I always enjoy playing with new cardboard. Alrighty, let's check this out. Now there have been spoils for this as well as X-23 and Deadpool out there. I really have kind of tried to avoid a lot of those, and so some of these cards, we got previewed in the FFG article. Those are the ones that I know, but I've seen a couple of them, but I haven't seen them all. Oh, I'm so pumped. I love new Marvel. Okay, we got Angel here. This is Angel in his, quote, tiny form. He's got a 2/1/2. Angel of Life. After you play an aerial event, draw a card. Drawing cards in a card game is always good. He has a hand size of 5 in this form, as well as 12 hit points. Zyblai, good for you. I can't help myself. Yeah, no, and I go back and forth on wanting to see them or not. I don't know. Angel, really nice 2 thwart stat. 1, get to draw a card after an aerial event. I love it. We have Warren Worthington the third. Regrowth, heal 1 damage from Warring Worthington the third. Limit once per round. So just as an action, you get a free heal. Hand size is 6, 12 hit points in this stage. He has a recovery of 3, which is fine because you basically have a built-in crew quarter, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I've spoiled myself on the cards, but excited for Psylocke because I haven't seen her cards fully revealed yet. Yeah, and I guess like as we're going through these cards, I am curious for everybody in the chat. What do you think about the spoils? So we have, Psylocke and Angel came out this week, but we also have now the full packs of X-23 and Deadpool out there spoiled. Are you a fan of that? Do you like seeing that? I'm curious. Because I think that's something that we may be talking about more on Shadow of the Cast, which is the new podcast Villain Theory and I are doing. But it's just an interesting, I don't know. Oh my gosh, it looks so sick. Archangel looks so cool. Flip up. That's so cool. I'm really glad that they went with the landscape instead of the portrait mode for Archangel. I think it differentiates them, well enough from the Ant-Man and Wasp, but like this is just some really cool art. 0 thwart 2 3, not bad. It has an acceleration token on this side, so we are adding an additional threat to the main scheme if we are in Archangel form. An Angel of Death. After you play an aerial event, deal damage to an enemy equal to that event's printed cost. We're running a dive bomb deck today. Like, this is dumb, like, because it's dumb. Now dive bomb Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. No spoilers for you. The most I pay attention to are the articles that FFG releases. Yeah, yep. Lunacy, first episode of Shadow of the Cast was dope. Loved it. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I think spoilers are fine. It's easy enough to avoid them, and I think if you don't want to see them, yeah, totally fair, Joshy. Zyblai, I think most of the time it's fine because in my opinion you have to search for that is true. They're not super available, and so that's nice. And then Stumpy, it mostly frustrates me the shops that follow the rules. That's probably my biggest issue with it is that we have street dates for these products. Today was the street day for Angel and Psylocke, and we I mean like I'm all for I want shops to respect the street dates. What I've kind of heard is that it's not necessarily the board game shops, or this is I guess all rumor, that are not necessarily following that. But yeah, I think it does hurt some of the stores that are being good and following the rules. But yeah. Angel looks sick. I am so pumped for Archangel. Archangel looks dumb. Archangel looks dumb. Let's see what other aerial stuff we got in our kit. We've got Psylocke. Psylocke is our 3-cost 1/1/3 ally. After Psylocke's attacks, if you are Angel, heal 1 damage from Psylocke. Oh, that's interesting. Archangel, ready your hero. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. I like Psylocke. Um, it'd be she seems like a fun Voltron target, right? We got ways to pump up that attack, and if we sit in Angel, she gets to heal, and we can keep her on the field forever. We got Adaptive Plumage. This is a 3-cost aerial event, and so when we play this, if we're an Archangel, we get to deal that damage. Hero action Thwart. If you are Angel, remove 3 threat from a scheme and confuse an enemy. If you are in Archangel, deal 4 damage to an enemy and stun it. That to me feels like pretty good value, right? So if we are in Angel form, it's remove 3 threat from a scheme, confuse an enemy, which is already fairly decent for the 3 cost. Maybe a little expensive, but because we're an Angel, we get to draw that card. Then when we're an Archangel, it could read effectively, assuming that you haven't done this already, because it is a once per phase. If you are an Archangel, deal 7 damage to an enemy and stun it, which feels really, really efficient right there. So I'm really happy with the Adaptive Plumage. Also, we are aerial on Angel as well as Archangel. And so I know that we have some Power of Flight cards coming, but also team building exercise could help pay for this, which is pretty cool. Joshy, I'm bad with Ant-Man and Wasp. I think it made me skeptical of Angel just because he's a folding hero card. It takes a little bit of a skill and like a learning curve to get into when you want to be where. And it can be a little... I have had that same issue trying to figure out how and when to flip. I think Ant-Man is a little easier because he has those resize cards, which allows him to flip. Wasp can be a little bit more punishing. I'm curious how Angel will play. Lunacy, I know we just started, but how do you sleeve Angel? I've seen some folding sleeves, but I can't find them anywhere. I don't actually sleeve my 3 cards. Also, we have 2 copies of this Adaptive Plumage. I don't actually sleeve my 3 hero form cards. But what I have seen is you get 2 side-loading cards, side-loading sleeves, where instead of on the top where they're open on the bottom, and you slide here and here. And so you have 2 sleeves, and then it leaves it with the open in the middle. But I sleeve my hero cards. I don't know why I do that. I don't really actually think that they need to be sleeved. I just kind of like the feeling of the sleeve, but I haven't gone into I haven't figured out how to sleeve these. We got 2 copies of Aerial Agility. This is a defense card, and this is also pretty cool because this is once per phase. This is once per phase, not once per round. So these defense cards can trigger in the villain phase if you already did it in the hero phase. Aerial Agility, hero interrupts defense. When an enemy attacks, your Angel, ignore each boost icon and each boost ability for the attack. That's pretty cool. Now, this is when an enemy attacks, so you don't get to see what that looks like because this interrupts the enemy attack. So you don't actually get to see that boost card. So you're kind of taking a gamble if you haven't already cheated and seen that top card of the deck somehow. If you're an Archangel, give your hero a tough status card and gain Retaliate 1 for this attack. So, again, actually, I think the piercing, I think anyone with piercing, so if you're playing like Crossbones or someone who has piercing, I think based on the 1.5 rulings, that is a printed ability which would go off before the interrupt. But I'm also curious if anyone knows the actual answer there. So this would protect from piercing as well. But Retaliate 1 is really nice. You get to do 1 damage back, so it's effectively a 2 damage card for aerial agility. Or it's a +1 card with the defense. So if you're an Angel, pretty cool. Of course, how did I miss that? Same thing, Lunacy. When I heard that, I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense. It never occurred to me. So that's not my wisdom coming across. I'm just regurgitating information. Joshy, I didn't sleeve my folding cards, but I'm trying to find side loaders. I tried the side loader originally, but didn't work quite right. I'm now trying again, and it seems okay so far. Okay, good. Hey, No Feed, how's it going? Yo, I forgot the new heroes were coming out. So excited to see this. Yeah, we're unboxing Angel, then Psylocke, then we're going to play them both. Oh, I'm so pumped. I'm still 50-50 on if I like having a sleeve with the side loader or just leaving them unsleeved. Yeah. We have yet another aerial card. Aerial events. We like them. We like the aerial events. Metamorphosis. Action change form. Okay, so this is a 2-cost card, so it's a little bit harder to play than that 0-cost resize that Ant-Man has. But change form. Then if you are warring, draw a card. Angel, remove 2 threat from his scheme. Archangel, deal 3 damage to an enemy. And after you play an aerial event, so you also get all of the benefits of playing the event. So if you use this card, you change form. Then if you're an Angel, you get to remove 2 threat from a scheme and draw a card. Or if you're an Archangel, you deal 5 damage to an enemy. So it's 2 for 5, which is pretty great. But it does not take your form change for the round. So you could hop up to Archangel, hop down to Angel, and still kind of use all of the toys and not have that acceleration token. I'm not 100% sure that acceleration token is a huge deal. We do have a good bit of thwarting here, right? We have 4 cards just in the base 15 that help with that threat. Even though we have a 0 thwart on Archangel, Angel has a 2. So I think we'll kind of be okay. Natural Flight is another thwart card. Okay, so now that acceleration token really is not bothering me too much. Natural Flight, 2-cost event. Remove 4 threat from his scheme. If you're Angel, this ignores the Crisis icon and the patrol keyword. Sweet. You get to draw a card. Love it. Acceleration token is really going to depend on the game state. That is true, as well as number of players, right? That acceleration token affects a single player game significantly more than it does a 4-player game, because it doubles versus adding 25% extra threats. So, yeah. I like Natural Flight. I mean, 2 for 4 is pretty good. And then if you're an Angel, you get to ignore and draw a card. Pretty great. Just play Angel with Pool Aspect. Get all the and there you go. Now we're talking. We've got Razor Dive. It's another attack. Wow, I mean, this is pretty attack and thwart heavy on the events. Plus, he benefits from the events. Seems pretty good. Razor Dive is a 3-cost event. Deal 6 damage to an enemy if your Archangel against Overkill. Oh, geez. Very, 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 very nice. Because now we are... Yeah, this is 9 damage with Overkill and Piercing for 3, which is beating that cost curve. Overkill, I mean, that's a decent card right there. I am happy with that. Beautiful. Avian Anatomy. This is a resource card. We have 2 of these. Avian Anatomy. After you spend this card to play an aerial event, return that event to your hand after resolving its effects. What a cool design for a resource card. Also, I really like the art on this. It feels very like washed out, which is pretty cool because it makes it feel like it just kind of like blends into the rest of the table where you don't have this border here. I think that's pretty sweet. But now, yeah, that's there's going to be some hefty combos here. Seems like he'll be able to get going pretty quick. Lots of events with not much setup. I know that there is a card in here, Techno Organic Wings, that we'll talk about here in a second, that even makes it even better. But I mean, all of these are events. We haven't seen, well, I guess Psylocke is an ally, right? And resources, but all of these are events. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of his 15 cards are events, which just don't require any setup to be uber efficient. And that to me is impressive. We got Worthington Industries, action, not an alter ego action. For some reason, I was expecting this to be an alter ego action. Exhaust this, shuffle one aerial card from your discard pile into your deck. If you're in alter ego form, draw a card. Okay, so you get a little bit of benefit of being in alter ego, but I like it. Then we got Techno Organic Wings. This is a superpower tech card, which I think is probably the first combo we've seen there for superpower tech. Exhaust Techno Organic Wings. If you are Angel, we can ready our hero, or if you're Archangel, reduce the cost of the next aerial event you play from your hand this phase by 2. Incredibly powerful. So, right, you can, I keep going to Dive Bomb. You can play Dive Bomb for 2. You can, if you use Avian Anatomy, you can pull it back, you can play it again. If you run Home Technique, Avian Anatomy is wild. You hit that kicker, you're right there, you're looking at 11, 22 plus 4. I mean, that's 26 damage. This would also be, I think Angel could also be a contender for that one turn kill. I think if you get the right cards, you may not need that, you may not be able to get that onto the table, but you could probably figure out a way to one turn kill some villains with Angel. He seems really, really, really powerful. Techno Organic Wings will definitely be a target for some of those player size games. That's an excellent point, and something that we need to start considering when we're unboxing these heroes is we do have those player size games. So superpower training here with Techno Organic Wings, we can grab that turn 1, put it onto the table, and we'll get up and rolling. Also, I didn't mention, but Archangel still has a hand size of 5, so I was kind of interested to see if they're going to follow the Wasp mold, or the Wasp Ant-Man mold, and drop his hand size down to 4, but no. Right off the bat, Angel looks incredibly powerful. So flexible. You got card draw, you got stun and confuse, you've got a lot of damage, a lot of threat removal. There's really, I don't think there's a dud in this kit. Maybe Psylocke is probably the worst in here. And honestly, that's not bad at all. Because if you're Archangel, you get to ready with Psylocke. I mean, it's... Angel looks good. Angel looks good. We're gonna go here and we're just gonna make this look pretty. Yeah. So yeah. What are your thoughts on the kit? I think it looks incredibly fun and powerful. I'm excited to play more with the aerial trait now that we're getting that. But some of these cards like aerial, resource, location. In a way, Angel makes me think of Phoenix, Archangel, Unleashed. Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Where you get Archangel as the Unleashed version when you're ready to burn down the villain. Yeah. And I feel like we haven't seen any of the obligations or anything, so not... I may eat these words, but right now it feels a little bit safer to be an Archangel than it does Angel. No feat. Honestly, Angel may be the first hero I run multiple copies of team building with. You can basically hit every... That is very, very true. Yeah, you can run team building exercise. We have one superpower card, which is the Techno Organic Wings. Def Focus is off the table. But I mean, this hits... Yeah. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 cards hit TBE. And that's... Yeah, we're probably going to be running team building exercise. That feels pretty good. Next evolution made me fear obligations again. Though I do fear that Hulk obligation. The Hulk obligation is so sad. Obligations that don't go away, that like hinder, are fun. Hulk is detrimental, which doesn't go away, which is bad. But I do like, I mean, Ironheart I think could be a little bit more powerful with her obligation. But like Technovirus Purge, I think is like a cool way to do an obligation where it never goes away, but it's just like annoying when you draw it. I'm excited to dive into Angel. I fear the Doctor Strange obligation. Then I remember on Doctor Strange and it's all good again. There you go. I'm actually gonna dive. We're gonna we're gonna look at the pre-con stuff. Let's look at the obligation. Let's look at the obligation in the Nemesis set here, and then we can look at all the other aspect cards after. But since we are just on the topic of Angel, let's take a look. We got Apocalyptic Influence. I wonder if this will come up in maybe a new box that we get here soon. Give to the Warring Worthington player. When revealed, if you are in Archangel form, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Otherwise, change to Archangel form. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. You get to be in Archangel form. It does not take your... It doesn't take your form change. So you could flip to Alter Ego action, deal the first player 1 encounter card, discard the card. Now, that's not good. So this is effectively a delayed surge, I think. But honestly, not bad. Honestly, not too bad. It does have the hazard icon on here, so you will be wanting to get rid of this pretty quick. 2 threat on the main scheme can be an issue, especially in solo, especially if you're already in Archangel form. So at that point, you're adding 4 threat on the main scheme. 1, the acceleration on Archangel, plus 2 from Apocalyptic Influence. So that can be a little bad, but I mean, you have the tools to take care of threat. So it's just something that I think the Angel player needs to think about, especially in a solo game, that threat can pile very quickly. There's only a bad card if you're D20. It's a guaranteed shadow pull for yeah. Star-Lord is going to be begging Angel to get out his obligation when Star-Lord is the first play. Oh yeah, with the extra card. That's really funny. That's really funny, yeah. Oh, we got Harpoon. Yeah, I feel like Harpoon and Angel. Harpoon taking down a flying character seems very thematic. Harpoon gets +1 attack when attacking a character with the aerial trait. I like that. That's fun. When revealed, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an event. Take indirect damage equal to that event's printed cost. That's brutal. That's brutal. I like it. Because you discard a dive bomb, you're taking 4 damage right off the top. He is beefy. He has 12 hit points. It's not bad. So it's just like play around with it, but that is a lot of damage to sustain. Like if you're not expecting it. We had Hook, Line, and Sinker. Each attack from a brute enemy, which is Harpoon, deals indirect damage. Interesting. After a friendly character takes any amount of indirect damage, exhaust that character. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. Yeah. It's also really cool that it interacts with other brute enemies. So now we can, take a look at... I'm pretty sure Juggernaut's brutes, right? Yeah, so Juggernaut's brutes, Rhino's brutes. We have villains that are brutes, and this is enemy, not minion. And so we could have, oh, I'm thinking about Juggernaut doing overkill indirect damage. That's weird. I don't like it. Sinister is brute with the strength attachment. Yeah. Mr. Hyde's brute. We got a lot of brutes in the game, and so it's cool that this will interact with some of those mod sets and villains. Got Harpoon. Harpoon. Attached to Harpoon. If Harpoon is not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for him and reveal him. So we have a tutor for Harpoon. And when revealed, discard cards and you're going to take more damage. Oof. Ow. Attach this card to him. If you cannot, this card gains Surge. After Harpoon attacks you, take 2 indirect damage. There's a lot of synergy within this Nemesis kit. A lot of synergy. And then we got 2 of these Spear Shots. When revealed, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an event. Take indirect damage equal to that event's printed cost. If it has the aerial trait, this card gains Surge. Oh, this is the Nemesis set that I like. I like Nemesis sets where it feels like they're countering what you are trying to do, right? You're wanting to load up aerial events for Angel, and this is teching against that. And so I love that from a design standpoint. Really cool stuff. Yeah, I'm pumped. Let's look at aspect cards. Protection. Love it. We got Elixir, a 4-cost 1/1/3 ally. Play only if your identity has the X-Force or X-Min trait. After Elixir attacks or thwarts, heal 1 damage from another friendly character. I love that. That's amazing. Okay. That's really cool. You can keep him alive forever. Run first aids, med teams, and just have him. He's like a Eva that just can hit anybody. It's always weird when a nemesis isn't particularly matched to the hero. Yeah, yeah. I feel like they've done a really good job in the last wave or two with kind of pairing those nemesis sets up. Elixir is cool. Kind of expensive, especially if you're not going out of your way to keep him alive. But it's like I could see a now he's X-Force, so Cyclops can't keep him. But I'm wondering if they're it's a two-player. I think it's a two-handed elixir gets really cool. I want to run a Cyclops elixir deck, and so we could run a protection deck somewhere, and then Cyclops leadership because Cyclops leadership is dumb, and then we can Voltron elixir, and so now when elixir is thwarting or attacking for multiple, you know, for 3 attack plus a heal, we get super efficient with elixir. We have Siren E for another 4-cost ally, aerial ally. After Siren attacks, stun a minion. Already 4/2/2/3, nice. Yeah, Warpath. Warpath is breaking the game. So we got a 4/2 thwart, 2 consequential, 2 attack, 2 consequential, 4. Comes in with toughness. After Warpath defends against an enemy attack, play an event with a hero action ability from your hand, paying its cost. This hurts my head. So an event with a hero action. So adaptive plumage, natural flight, razor dive, dive bomb, Wakanda forever. Yes. That's a really cool idea. Wakanda forever. Oh dear. But like you get to trigger these things in the villain phase before minions attack if you are defending the villain. And I do think that he has toughness, so you're going to defend him first, or the villain attack. But it's like that's good. That's good. And then you can sit there and have him defend against minions a couple of times. Warpath has some incredible implications for different heroes, right? And so I'm excited to see some of the synergies that come out. One of the things that I really enjoyed with like this last release is I was doing like the old hero new tricks series. And I think I'll continue to do that because I had a lot of fun with that. But it's like Warpath revisiting Black Panther, revisiting what are some of the better hero actions? We could go pheromones. That'd be kind of cool. I just oh no, I just messed everything up. There it is. But it's like there's some options. There's some really cool options with Warpath. Aerial intervention. Interrupt when a character would take any amount of damage from an attack. Exhaust an aerial character you control. Prevent up to 3 of that damage. Nice. It could be any aerial character. Warpath is also aerial. Siren's aerial. But we also have a ton of aerial characters that we can play now. Preventing 3 damage is always good. And then it's when a character would take any amount of damage from an attack. So this could also be another ally. And this is an interrupt. Huh. Yeah. Interesting. I like it. Ever Vigilant, we've seen this before. Play only if your identity has the aerial trait. Hey. I sense a theme. When a character would take any amount of damage. So I guess you could do it on a villain if you wanted to. When a character would take any amount of damage from an attack. Exhaust an aerial character you control. Prevents 3 of that damage. Up to 3 of that damage. So you could choose to prevent 1 of the damage if you wanted to. Kind of interesting. I don't know. Yeah. Ready your hero. Remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Ever Vigilant. Beautiful. Angel seems good. Angel seems really good. For weird challenges, not for... Oh, yeah. For all the challenges that are in the Discord, which if you are not in the Discord, go ahead and consider joining that. I invite you to do so. It's a good time. We do monthly challenges, and No Feed is a master at some of those challenges. And it's a good time. Guarismo, hello, happy Friday. I filmed the member requested game that you had, the Ultron and Shadowcat, and I actually have the decks over here. and it was supposed to post today, but then I realized that I played Ultron Stage 3 wrong, so I need to refilm that. So that should be out probably Monday or maybe sometime next week. So I apologize in the delay. uh, but like I filmed the entire thing, and like with Ultron can't take overkill damage in Stage 3 if there's a drone, if you're attacking a drone. And I was just like, oh cool. Like I didn't read it that way. I thought overkill damage was after we killed the drone. And it would have been fine if it was just like a one thing or whatever. And then I was just like, my entire deck is built around this concept. So it's like I feel like I can't let that one go. Joshi, for play when your friend is wanting to flip to the next stage, but you're not ready yet. Yes, exactly. It's still September. Absolutely. Nice. Alrighty, we got Taunt. This is gonna be a card that we build a old hero new trick around. Taunt is a polarizing card, in my opinion. It's a one cost event. The villain attacks you. Other characters cannot defend against this attack. Draw 3 cards. The problem with this, the problem that I see with this is face value, your +1 resource. Your +1 card if you use a card to play Taunt, right? Because you spend Taunt, you spend a card to pay for it, you draw 3 cards, you're +1. +1 card for a villain attack for a lot of heroes is not where I want to be. Now, I think there are some fun plays with if you miss out on a defend and all your cool defense stuff is ready to go, and you can, taunt to draw cards because he was stunned. You didn't get an activation. Spider-Ham loves it. Drax, I think, really likes it. I think Spider-Man likes it. Spider-Man now is +2 cards on that, especially if he has like that backflip in his hand. If you draw into the backflip and you don't use the backflip, which I think would be fairly rare, but Spider-Man can get it. I think there are a couple of interactions that work really well for some heroes out there, but like this is not a card like one way or another where this is what I view as the protection version of one way or another. And I think that one way or another is overpowered. I think Taunt is more in line with power that I'm looking at. But it's like if this could cost half a resource, that would be perfect, right? But it's like Overwatch is too good. Taunt is situationally good. And if I had to pick one of those, I would go Taunt every single time, because it's like, okay, now we can start thinking about how to build around this, when one way or another just feels like that you're going to run one way or another if you want an optimal Justice solo deck. And it can be played in higher player counts, but solo, incredible. We got Render Medical Aid. A new player side schemes Cable gets happy. We got Victory 0, 0 cost, 3 threat per player, 0 cost, which is awesome. Awesome there. When defeated, each player heals a total of 5 damage from among characters they control. That's incredible. That's incredible. I love that. It helps with those Voltron builds. Cable is going to love this, especially if he's bringing some players to the table that have some high allies that they want to keep alive. But Render Medical Aid, I mean, like, your most efficient healing is going to go to your allies, right? You could heal Angel for 5, and that would be good. It'd be awesome. It'd be fun. But if you can heal allies with this, if you can heal Wolverine, if you can heal allies that want to be on the table that are expensive allies, this is going to be awesome. Lunch is here. Got to run. Already. See ya. No feet. But Render Medical Aid is, I think, really good. And we're also starting to see a little bit more aerial intervention, Render Medical Aid. I'm starting to think that we can do some pretty cool multiplayer healing or like protection builds that are outside of like that normal defense build. So I'm really happy with Render Medical Aid. Got Angel's Airy. This is a location. After you defend against an attack, place 1 fatigue counter here. As an alter ego action, we can remove each fatigue counter here. Heal 1 damage from your identity for each fatigue counter removed this way. I don't love it. I don't love it. The reason being is if I'm defending multiple times for an attack, I think that I would prefer not to take any damage. And that's kind of the archetype that I like to go for, is if I'm defending, I want to be triggering my Heart to Ignores. I want to be triggering all this stuff that goes off when you don't take any damage, which means that we're not getting the fatigue counters here. The other thing is, if I'm defending, I don't want to be in alter ego that much because we have because we have uh we lose out on a lot of efficiency when we do flip down to alter ego. So I think that there's some situational uses for this. I'm not 100% sure what those are off the top of my head. It could be something like Miss Marvel, who already wants to be down in alter ego, and she's defending with like her wiggle rooms, or you defend with defiances, those zero cost cards that you're still probably going to take some damage, but just less damage, and then you're already going to be flipping down. My initial thought was Drax, but Drax doesn't want to flip to alter ego, so it's interesting. I'm not sold on that card though. We got Containment Strategy. This is a 1-cost upgrade attached to a non-permanent side scheme, max 1 per side scheme. After a hero defends against an attack, remove 1 threat from that scheme or 2 threat instead if that hero took no damage from the attack. Situationally useful. I'm trying to think of how that would be. I mean, it's 2 threat, or it's 2 cost. So we want to see, or 2 effective cost. So we probably want to see 3, which lines up solo. It's slower. Cable kind of likes it, right? Because it gives a way for Cable to clear another side scheme. But he has a Scanny Sun for that. Interesting. I think it's an interesting card. I'm also not sold on this one, but I'm curious if anyone has any fun uses for Angel's Area or Containment Strategy. I'm curious how people have seen these used, because I think yeah, I think I like Containment Strategy more than Angel's Area, just from the way that I like to play, but we'll see. Hey, we got Cannonball, another aerial X-Force, the 3 cost, 2/2, 2 consequentials on both, and he only has 2 health. He's only activating once. When Cannonball would take any amount of consequential damage, reduce that amount by X, where X is the number of aerial cards in your hand. Whoa, that's cool. That's really fun. I mean, Angel is probably going to have minimum 1, right? So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 aerial cards in your deck. If you're running a 40 card deck, you average out to a little bit more than 1 in a 5 card hand. So yeah, Cannonball is a 3/2/2/2, but then if you have multiple of those aerial cards, if you start adding in more aerial cards, which you probably will be doing in a Angel deck, Cannonball looks really good. I don't know how Cannonball looks outside of Angel. I'm not sure how many aerial cards you're going to be adding to other characters to justify running a Cannonball, but I mean, Cannonball, I feel like you can easily just never take consequential damage. He's fun. We'll definitely try Cannonball in one of these builds. We got Soaring Hearts. This is our team up card for Angel and Psylocke. Search your discard pile for an identity specific event and add it to your hand. Ready, Angel and Psylocke. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. That's great. Here we are. The Power of Flight Rogue. What an awesome art. I really like that art. That's really cool. Yeah. Double the number of resources this card generates when paying for an aerial card. I was not sold on the Power of the Mind, which is this formula, but for a psionic card when I first saw it. Played it. Love it. Cable is like White Fox for Domino. Yeah. That's a good analogy there, where it feels like I'm pretty much he's the 16th card in the in the deck. But Power of Flight, I will definitely be running it. I mean, really, really high efficiency there. Soaring Acrobatics. Play under any player's control. Hero Interrupt. When an aerial character you control uses a basic power, exhaust this, they get +1 for that use. Oh. Well, there you go. That's pretty sweet. That's also gonna go. This is Domino Sharpshooter for Angel. But now, I mean, Angel, once you have this down, becomes a 3/2/3. Yeah. And this is an interrupt, it's not an action, so you can use it for your defense stat. You have, yeah. And honestly, this works really well for some of our older heroes. This could be another fun one to build around. I mean, Rocket jumps to mind with his, like, he now has that 2 attack, 3 attack with the cybernetic skeleton with soaring. So you are able to get that overkill damage more reliably with this. And this is also a exhaustible card. It's not just a +1. So if you need to, you don't have to use this on his ability if you're like maybe wanting to set it up so that your gun deals extra damage. Rocket jumps to mind. He has aerial. Spectrum jumps to mind. She now has a 4 in the ability that she's sitting in. This is cool. This is really good. This is really fun. Big fan of soaring acrobatics. And then we got our off aspect aerial cards. Bombs Away. This is a tactic card. Aerial. Exhaust an aerial character you control and choose a player. Deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with that player. Well, there you go. There you go. Honestly, Duorismo, I'm happy that we didn't get to. I have to refilm that deck or that game because Vision also can get aerial. Bombs Away feels like a nice little Ultron cleanup card that that could be kind of fun. You have to exhaust an aerial character you control, which if you can set it up, you want that to be an ally, especially if they're about to die and you can save them for another villain attack. But 3 damage to the villain and each minion. If you have 1 minion, this is an efficient card. I guess you have to take into consideration the exhaust, but if you have 2, this is a 2 for 9. That's good. That's good. Also a really good rocket card because if you can set it up where that you can like rocket launcher, which I think is 2 damage to everything, which usually doesn't kill, and then bombs away to kill everything on the table. Yeah. Eyes in the Sky, Hero Interrupt. This is a preparation card. We got a preparation card already. I was just talking about this. How I wanted. When was I talking about that? I think this was actually on a podcast that has not been released for Winning Hand. But Eyes in the Sky, preparation card. There you go. Hero Interrupt. When you reveal a non-elite minion, exhaust an aerial character you control and discard this card. Cancel the effects of that card and discard it. Then reveal another card from the encounter deck. That's nice. I like that it's in Justice. A lot of times Justice can have an issue with dealing with some of those minions. And so nice to see that in the yellow aspect. We got Flying Formation, a 4-cost event. This is an aerial card, which Bombs Away is as well. So like we have. Also, I didn't think about Hone Technique Bombs Away. Hone Technique Bombs Away is 5 and 5. Nope, it's not an attack. Never mind. Ignore, cut, edit, and post. Flying Formation, Alliance. Okay, so we can pay this card's cost as a group. Ready up to 3 aerial characters. Alrighty, I like it. So I guess the biggest. I'm kind of running out of room. We're gonna go right there. I think the biggest issue with that is it's in blue. Now we do have aerial characters in blue. I'm not 100% confident on what that is, but oh wait, hold on. Iron Man with Sky Cycle. Sky Cycle gives the ally aerial, so you can then ready Iron Man again or ready Phantom X with a Sky Cycle if you've somehow gotten a Sky Cycle on him. But you are able to get allies aerial in the blue aspect, and so now if you're Voltroning, you can get some really, really good efficiency out of this 4-cost card. It's expensive. It's expensive. Don't get me wrong. But it's pretty nice. The champion's character that came with Ironheart. Champion's character that came with Brawn? Her signature ally? Brawn? Oh, yeah, all the champions characters in the blue. Yes, yeah, the blue ones, yeah. With Falcon, Cloud9. Both Falcons are aerial. Hey, man, how's it going? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Really good call. Really good call. I like it. I like it. That's fun. And then we got X-Force Recruit. Play only if your identity has the X-Force trait. +1 and X-Force. I like how it's not honorary X-Force. It's X-Force recruit, but this is gonna help. This is gonna help with some deck builds. I'm doing good. I'm always excited to have new champions content. It's always a good time. Always a good time. This is a solid pack. This is a solid pack. I'm gonna talk about it while I take one of each so I can put these away in the binder. Yeah, the protection cards are a little lackluster in my, but I do have a huge need, or not need, but a high bar for those protection cards. So I would take that with a grain of salt. But the other aspect cards I think are really cool. Angel's pack looks incredible. I'm excited when they do more stuff for that, for those traits. And I'm not going to say that Ariel was underutilized, but rounding out and getting some more stuff is really cool to see that. Hey Ronnie, how's it going? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Welcome to the chat. How's your Friday going? You a Marvel Champions fan? I'm so pumped for Angel. Gosh, she's so cool. Okay, so I'm really excited about this because I was more excited for Psylocke. Or I guess I still am more excited for Psylocke, just from like the way that she looks and plays. But Angel looks real good. Real good. Alrighty, that's Angel. Let's crack open Psylocke. I do think that Angel has a lot of really interesting builds. I mean, aggression, dive bomb jumps to mind, really good. Justice. Honestly, I don't think that Justice has that much going for him. I know that we're going to get a couple of packs in the Psylocke kit that are going to help out and round out some of the Justice stuff. But he does have a pretty decent thwart stats or thwarting abilities throughout his cards. So player side schemes, you could run that. You can run one way or another. Draw into his cards because, yeah. So Justice could work. Leadership, yeah. And then protection. Honestly, protection. I'm happy that we got the protection cards. I'm least excited for Protection Angel, I think. You have not bought the cards. I usually play Magic and I'm doing great. How are you doing today? Awesome. I'm doing good. I'm doing fantastic. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Marvel Champions. It's a cooperative game, so Magic head to head. This is a cooperative game. I usually play it solo on stream. And so you can take one hero, you fight off against a villain, and that's what we're doing today. These are new heroes that just came out today, and we're taking a look at all the new cards that we just got. And unlike Magic, Marvel Champions is a living card game, which is a term coined by Fantasy Flight Games, the company that produces the game. They're not randomized packs. So when we open this pack, we know exactly what we're getting in it. There's something that you can scan, you can look, and you can know exactly what you're getting. So there's no randomized chance, which is another difference in Magic. But happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. Let's take a look at Psylocke. I am so pumped for Psylocke. I was at a convention when Psylocke released, and I was so sad that I did a video eventually, but like I was sitting at the convention, I was like, I can't dedicate time to do a Psylocke video right now, but I'm so excited because I was like, you know, just walking around the hall, like looking at all the cards. It was a good time. Psylocke. 1/1/2. She has 10 hit points, hand size of 4, so lower hand size, which is a little sad. Interrupt. When you use one of Psylocke's basic powers, thwarts, attack, or defense, flip one Psy energy upgrade. We'll talk about those Psy energy upgrades here in a second. Bad stat line. I think we'll be okay with that once we see some of those energy of those. On her alter ego side, we have Betsy, Braddock, 3 recovery. Setup, put your 2 Psy energy upgrades into place. Psy knife, side face up. As an action, we can exhaust 1 Psy energy upgrade to shuffle a psionic card from your discard pile back into your deck. And in this form, she has a hand size of 6, which is a little bit more normal. But okay, let's talk about this. I really like this action. I like being able to shuffle psionic cards back into our deck, especially once that deck starts to thin. And once we get a deck size of 10 or less, even if we have a deck size of 3, or I guess if we're in this if we're in this form. If we have a small deck size, uh we have a really good way, or really good, um really easy to set up our next hand and make it like really good, depending on if we need a mind control or if we need something like that. Oh yeah, if we flip down and we are about to, get schemed on, we can shuffle a mind control in and then draw it up and have mind, or not mind control, whatever the Justice Psionic card is. I don't remember. What other card games do you like? So I usually do on this channel. We have Marvel Champions, Lord of the Rings, the Living Card Game, and um, Arkham Horror, the Living Card Game. Those are the three from Fantasy Flight Games. They all kind of follow the same formula, not randomized packs, cooperative. I've played Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix more before. I've started doing that, and they put out a cooperative mode as well. Um, those are a lot of the card games that I like. I also enjoy like Aeon's End, any of the deck building games. Slay of the Spire, I guess, is a card game. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. I love card games. Alrighty, so Sai Knife, Sai Katana. We have two of these. Sai Knife, we're starting with this with Sai Knife face up. So permanent, she gets +1 thwarts. So if you have two of these, she's now, instead of a 1/1/2, she's a 3/1/2. And we can exhaust Sai Knife to generate a mental resource. You may flip this card. So that 4 hand size, we're starting to see the spider formula here, where lower hand size, but starting with resource generators on the table. Big fan of that. I was skeptical when we first initially got Spider, and then after playing Spider, it was not an issue. So Sai Knife, and then when you flip this over, which we can do after generating the resource, or after we use a basic activation, we can flip it over to Sai Katana. Now these are restricted. On her knife side, they are not restricted, but on their katana side, they are. So you can only have 2 restricted cards in play at a time. And so if you are running additional weapons, you're going to be locked to 1 katana and 1 knife, which I think in a solo game is kind of where you want to be with all the cards that we've seen. But katana, she gets +1 attack and she gains piercing. So now if you have 2 katana, she's a 1/3/2, or she's a 2/2/2 if you have 1 knife, 1 katana. And then we can exhaust Sai Katana to generate a physical resource, and then we can flip the card. So kind of all built around those weapons. Also, the weapon build is going to be kind of interesting with Psylocke, I think, with if we go like mean swing and stuff like that. I think mean swing and all that is in play. Signature ally is Angel. You got a 3 cost, a 1/2/3. After you play Angel from your hand, ready your identity. Awesome. Excellent. Any character that can get her ready that has a 3, can get a 3 in their stat, I'll take it. I'll take it. So Angel comes in. Psylocke has both her katanas out because we're going face with the villain. We are taking that villain down. She attacks for 3. We play Angel. Ready Psylocke. Attack for 3. Angel attacks for 2. Right there, that's 8 damage. I like it. I like it a lot. But it also has the flexibility of being able to thwart or do attacks. I like Angel as an ally. We got Fury of Blades. We got 3 copies of Fury of Blades. This is an attack. This is a psionic card, so we can shuffle that back in with her alter ego ability. And we can also use Power of the Mind to pay for this card. But Fury of Blades, deal 2 damage to an enemy. For each Sai Knife you control, choose an enemy and confuse it. For each Sai Katana you control, choose an enemy and deal 2 damage to it. And this is going to start that discussion of why I think I'm going to want to play 1 Katana and 1 Knife. Because if we go 3 cards, we've got 2, 4. It's 3 for 4 damage and a confuse. That's pretty good. But we also have the flexibility. We probably don't want to be playing this if we have 2 knives because... Oh, no, you can choose an enemy and confuse it. So it does not have to be the enemy that you attack. So that is nice. But, yeah, Fury of Blades. But I still think splitting these, keeping the 2/2/2 stat line, I like flexibility in the solo play. This, flipping this, and just gives a ton of stuff. A ton of options for us. Also, this deck, to spoil the next 15 minutes, is all about confuse. And as a primarily true solo player, I'm here for it. I got mental detection. Thwart, remove 1 threat from a scheme for each side knife you control. Remove 2 additional threat. Each side katana, draw a card. So this is going to be if you go with the split, a effective 2-cost card that removes 3 threat, which is right where we want to be on that efficiency curve. So mental detection, or we could remove 1 threat and draw 2 cards, I guess. 1 for 1 is a little bit under, but here we are. I'm back. Let's see the Psionic Madness. Hey, no feet. Welcome back. Hope lunch was great. I am so excited for Psylocke. We broke down the rest of Angel's Pack. Angel's Pack was significantly more exciting than I was expecting it to be. And I am more excited for Psylocke, but Angel wowed me, and so I'm excited to see what Psylocke can do. We got Psionic Redirect, which is her 2-cost event card. When you would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, prevent 2 of that damage. For each Psy Katana you control, prevent 2 additional damage. For each Psy Knife, confuse the enemy. So, love it. Love it. And again, we got these two here, right? 2-cost card, 2-cost card. We start with 2 resource generators on the table. So we can play one of these for free each round. Yeah, there's nothing stopping us from doing that. And we can also ready these, and they are resources, not actions, so we can use them on our defense cards as well in the villain phase. Telepathic Suggestion. When you reveal a card from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. Always love that sentence. For each Psy Katana you control, choose an enemy, deal 2 damage to it. For each Psy Knife you control, choose a scheme and remove 1 threat from it. Nice. Yeah. I love canceling when revealed effects. It is a good strategy to do. Got a 1-cost support called Training Regiment. It's a training card. I don't think we've seen those before. Exhaust Training Regiment. Search your deck for a skill card and add it to your hand. Shuffle. If you are in hero form, discard 1 card from your hand. Awesome. It is interesting that we don't have any skill cards in her kit yet. Here's a skill card. So I think we have canceling when revealed is amazing. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. it's so perfect. I wonder if there are others. There has to be other skill cards, right? Like just looking at here, Ever Vigilant is a skill card. Probably not grabbing that though, because. But I mean, we have skill. Soaring Acrobatics is a skill card. So there are a ton of skill cards, yeah. So we're gonna be able to play into that and figure out which cards that we want to be grabbing, which is gonna be nice. The 2, 3, we have 3 skill cards, I guess, here. The first one is gonna be Martial Arts Training. She gets +1 defense. After Psylocke defends against an attack, discard Martial Arts Training and ready Psylocke. So this is a response. This is not a forced response, so we can keep this. We can keep her at that 3 defense if we need to, and ready her in other ways, or we can just sit there and use it for that 1 defend and ready. If we're running like leadership and we want to be protecting some of our allies or something like that, we can absolutely do that. Got Psionic Training, another 1-cost skill upgrade. And also Training Regiment is a skill card. It does not have to be an upgrade. After Psylocke thwarts, discard Psionic Training, confuse an enemy. Nice. Beautiful. Also, this is a support. So this is much better. Yeah, it's a support, so we can just grab it. Nice. I like it. Heroic Intuition combat. Oh, okay. I find it funny that Armored Vest is not. Or the protection version is not. I find that a little humorous. And then last up, we've got Weapons Training. Psylocke gains Retaliate 1. After Psylocke attacks, discard Weapons Training. Ready each weapon upgrade you control. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is search your deck. So it's not a... You can't search your discard pile. But, I mean, ready each weapon you upgrade you control. So if you are splitting this, you don't have the restricted. If you go another restricted, if you go side holster, you can have, 4 weapons on the table. You got a couple weapons that are not restricted, I think. I think we have a couple weapons that are not restricted, but that feels like a card that we could build around and have some fun with. Let's go ahead and take a look at her obligation and nemesis set before we dive into the cards. So is sense of justice and skilled investigator. It's gonna work so well with justice, plus all the confused. That's good. That's really cool. Yeah, the confused is gonna be great. We got some really cool cards coming up for the confused archetype. That this deck makes me is one of the or this precon, the cards that I've seen at least, is makes me some of the most excited for some older heroes that I've ever seen a new deck come out with. If that, I don't think that sentence made any sense whatsoever. I'm excited for this deck, is what I'm trying to say. So we got body swapped, which is their obligation. You cannot flip your Sai Katana upgrades. When revealed, flip each of your Sai energy upgrades to a Sai Katana site and exhaust it. Interesting. Discard one psionic card from your hand. Discard this obligation. See, this is a good obligation. This is a well-designed obligation, in my opinion, because it's not that farm where you have to flip exhaust. It's, it breaks that mold, and it also can get pretty nasty if you are running higher restricted cards. So I like body swap. That's fun. We got Chimera. We're getting all the Marauders here. Chimera is a 1/1/5. When Chimera attacks against you, she gets plus X scheme and plus X attack for this activation, where X is the number of mental resources on cards you control. Ugh. That could get... Oh, no. That's bad. Especially in Justice. Which is where you're going to want to be playing Psylocke, I think, a lot of the time. That's really funny. Honestly, actually, I take that back. I said you may want to be playing Psylocke in Justice a lot. She has a lot going on that Justice usually can't do for other heroes. So I'm wondering if where she wants to live is not Justice. Is going to be aggression or something. She can handle the confuse and the thwart, which is usually what you need Justice to do. And then you can lean into heavier damage with like aggression. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah. Oof. Oh, interdimensional plunder, 2 threat, acceleration icon. Place 1 threat here for each upgrade in play. That card right there is gonna kill my play style. I love upgrades, and that I feel like they printed this card just to spite me. They're like, we should make this card to really destroy Nelson in the way he plays. I like it. It's again just like Angel. Tech against what you want to be doing with Psylocke, excellent. Excellent nemesis, excellent obligation. Really like the way that it interacts with the kit and prevents you from doing what you want to do, but not in a way that is so detrimental that you just don't want to play the character. We got Psionic Illusion. It's a psionic card, which is kind of fun. Attach to your identity. When you attack an enemy, name a resource type and then discard the top card of your deck. If that card does not have a resource of the name type, change the target of this attack to a friendly character of your choice and discard this card. Oh, well, that's exciting. Oh my gosh. Wow. In multiplayer, the side scheme is bad with heroes like Iron Man and Black Widow. That sounds awesome, actually. Yeah. Oh my goodness. At least it does. At least it's only an acceleration token. So if you are running Iron Man, Black Widow, Psylocke, and Rocket or something like that, and you throw 40 threat on this scheme, it's like, okay, like we can deal with this acceleration token, but it's so brutal. It's gonna be so much threat for some of these heroes. I think for me, a scheme that might as well be a treachery that says add an acceleration token to the main scheme and remove from the game. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be out there and ignore. Now, Psylocke's gonna really like Jessica Jones, because this is gonna stay out forever. We got 2 telekinetic dragons, which is just an awesome idea of a concept. A telekinetic dragon, I'm here for it. When revealed, take X indirect damage, where X is the number of mental resources on cards you control. If X is 0, this card gains surge. It's indirect, which makes it a little bit easier to stomach than Cable's telekinetic attack obligation or treachery card, where you're just taking damage. Cable has the preventing with the psionic shield. Still yikes though, right? So if we're running with one knife, one kit training, it's two. But we're gonna have a lot more mental stuff. It can be really detrimental. But if we're shuffling it into the deck, we know that it's coming, and so we may want to, I don't know, not draw it. That's what we want to do. We want to not draw it since we know that it's coming. Sweet. She looks really cool. Honestly, like, she is right in line where what I expected her to be. I am still, I think, more excited to play Psylocke. Angel, I was more impressed with his kit by, and not necessarily thinking that it was maybe better than Psylocke's. I think power level it's going to be better than Psylocke's. Maybe not with all the confuse. It'll be interesting. That what I'm trying to say is that Angel was more of a wow factor for me than Psylocke. Hey Dines, chat. If anyone knows, how did we do in TFA yesterday? I had to leave around the 4th round. We actually finished it up this morning. So I streamed this morning, and then this is the second stream of the day. Not well. It ended where I took a I can't remember his name right now. Who's my rogue? Not my rogue. Jeez, my survivor, my photographer. The D. Thank you, Daryl. Yes, thank you. I do need to hydrate Guarismo. Yeah, he was sitting with 4 damage on him, and I drew a treachery that gave a damage and surged into a card that subtracted 1 health, and so he died. And so I resigned. It wasn't good. I ended up with like 3 experience points and 1 physical trauma. Rogue made it out fine. Finn made it out fine, but Daryl didn't. And it was frustrating. I think I could have won if I just didn't have those 2 undefendable damage coming at me. No feet. What if we want to do is keep the cancel and countercard card in our hand for? Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's it. Yeah, there you go. Or you can use it to shuffle it back in because it's psionic. You can use her ability to shuffle it back in. Really, really cool stuff. Alrighty, let's take a look at our Justice card. We got Captain Britain. 4 cost, 3/3/3, double consequentials. Takes -1 consequential damage after he thwarts the side scheme or attacks a minion. Nice. Cool. Expensive, but I like it. We have Cypher. 2-cost ally. Always love seeing a 2-cost ally. A 1/1/2. After Cypher attacks and damages a confused enemy, draw a card. Cypher's going to be good. Cypher's going to be good. We got some cool stuff coming. We have so much confused in her kit. Cypher's going to just draw us cards. If you do nothing, if you never heal Cypher, he is 1 resource. That's pretty cool. Not that expensive for a 3/3, holy moly. Yeah, that is true. It is a 3/3. And it's a 4 for 6 threat removal, or a 4 for 3 threat removal and a block. Or if you're going side schemes, he's going to clear 3 side schemes for you. That's another way to look at it. Or 2 side schemes and a block. Yeah, pretty cool. Concussive Blow, we've seen this card. Confuse an enemy. If you pay for this card using a physical resource, deal 3 damage to that enemy. Upside the Head. Here we are. Here, this is where it starts getting absurd. Well, you'll have to catch up on that later. Yeah, it should be on. I think I have it scheduled to post on YouTube on Tuesday, or you can check out the Twitch VOD after, or here on Twitch. Upside the Head. After your hero makes a basic attack and damages an enemy, confuse that enemy. If that enemy is already confused, stun it instead. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good card. That's a good card right there. That's so good. That's so good. For comparison, Spider-Man Parker has 5 costs to clear 1 side scheme. That's true. That is really true. Yeah. He scales a little bit better with player counts than I think Captain Britain does. Yeah, Upside the Head is incredible. Stun and Justice. Yeah, Stun and Justice. That's the first stun we have in Justice, right? Yeah. Yeah. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So good. So good. And it's a skill card. It's a skill card, so we can tutor it. Not with that, with training regimen. That's sick. That's so cool. Spider-Man Miles will love. Yeah, I am. That's one of those heroes. This is. I am excited, and I'm probably going to be doing an old hero new trick video with Spider-Man Miles because we got some crazy cards in here for that. Cypher is awesome. Upside the Head is awesome. Float Like a Butterfly. We'll just jump straight to this because we've been flirting with this all day. This card is absurd. This card is so good. It's a 2-cost upgrade, Float Like a Butterfly. You can play it under any player's control, so you can give it out to anybody. And if you're running a confused lock, then pass these out to your friends, because when a character you control attacks a confused enemy, increase the amount of damage that attack deals by 1. Not your hero. Any character. You give this to the leadership player who's running 6 freaking Avenger allies on the table and confuse the enemy, which you can do fairly easily with Psylocke or Upside the Head. And now it's plus 6 damage just from those Avenger allies. Or the thing that jumped straight to my head, Gatling gun or shoulder cannon from War Machine. Now shoulder cannon is doing 2 to a confused enemy. He also already likes Justice. I think this pack gives War Machine a pretty big boost. Flow Like a Butterfly, Upside the Head, more ways to confuse. I guess, Upside the Head is a way to do that. But now, I mean, like, anything that has multiple attacks, Quicksilver really likes this. He gets those multiple attacks every single round. Flow Like a Butterfly, that 3 effective cost, you want 6 damage out of it, probably more because it's an upgrade. You're going to get that in 2 turns. It's easy. It's free damage. In solo, you can keep it around. This is an archetype defining card right here. This is one of the cards that we are going to look back and Champions. This changes Marvel Champions and Justice. That's a crazy card, and I'm here for it. I do think Justice is probably the strongest aspect, which is fine. The one complaint and why I don't love Justice that much is it felt very siloed, especially in solo play, on how you want to play. We now have player side schemes. We now have Float Like a Butterfly. We just got 2 new archetypes in the course of 2 months to change the way Justice plays, and I'm very, very excited about that. Give it to the aggression player with multiple hit cards like Dive Bomb. Yeah, Dive Bomb. Melee 1x1. Then, the other thing that I really want to do with this is do a 2-handed build. Float Like a Butterfly, Storm, Aggression Boot Camp, and then just run allies. Right? So everyone gets plus 3 damage to something. It's just like, okay. Like, that sounds fun. Like, this is a cool card, and this is the card that I'm most excited about over the 120 cards that we're looking at today. This card is what I'm most excited for. Anyways, okay. Cool. I got my excitement. I got my excitement out. We got Lay the Trap, which is another player side scheme. I think we're gonna like this one a little bit more than our other Justice Take Out the Guards. But Lay the Trap, 1 cost player side scheme, comes in with 3. When the player who defeated this side scheme deals 5 damage per player to the villain. Awesome. Yeah. Justice is all going to be about taking down the side schemes, or taking down those side schemes. Yes. And then we are looking for more ways to deal damage in Justice, and this is going to be a way to do it. I want to run it with Miss Marvel and Hone Technique just for the crazy attack. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. You could embiggen. Now, we have to figure out a way to add Confuse to her kit, because she doesn't have any Confuse in her kit, right? But I'm here for it. Yeah, there's so much stuff that can go here. I'm so pumped. Okay, cool. We are in our basic package now. We got Pete Wisdom. 4 cost, 3/2, double consequential on that thwart, and a 3. Play only if your identity has the X-Force trait. After you resolve the when revealed effects of a treachery card, heal 1 damage from Pete Wisdom. Okay. I mean, like a 3 thwart that hangs around. He's okay. He's okay. It's a little expensive, but I mean, I think that cost comes in with that 4. Oh yeah, just have the Justice player do confuse. Yeah, I'm still thinking of a true solo setting, but yes, totally, absolutely. So we got Pete here. Pete's hanging out. Directed Force, another skill card. Also, Float Like a Butterfly is a skill, so we can give. Yeah, training regimen. We got a lot of targets for training regimen. A directed force. When your hero makes an attack that has a keyword, overkill, piercing, or ranged, that attack deals 2 additional damage. Max 1 per attack. I guess this works really well with her katana, so she is going to have piercing. So like now her attack, her basic attack is going to have +2, which is nice. It's a 0 for 2, which is okay. I don't like it actually. Now that I'm talking it out, it's a 0 for 2. It's a situational card. 0 for 2 is right there on the cost curve that we need. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. Yeah. Soaring Hearts, we saw this in the Angel pack. Team up, max 1 per deck. Search your deck and discard pile for an identity-specific event. Add it to your hand. Ready Angel and Psylocke. Might be good for overkill aggression builds. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. I can see Rocket liking this. I can see Rocket enjoying this to get that, like, with his ranged pistols are now doing 4, which pretty much guarantees an overkill in a card draw. So in that sense, like Rocket or people that want that overkill and maybe even can replace this card in their hand, that could be really nice. I feel like Rocket got a huge boost today with the aerial cards and this, as well as like Float Like a Butterfly, because Rocket has a lot of those little tiny damage, or not tiny damage, but like precise and pistol, rocket launcher, a lot of different damages. And so I think that I'll do a Rocket revisited, old hero new trick with Rocket. I think Rocket would be really cool with some of these new cards as well. You got Power of the Mind, double the cost to pay Psionic cards. So we've seen that before. You got IPAC, play only if your identity has the X-Force trait. Exhaust IPAC and deal 1 face down encounter card to a player. That player draws 2 cards. Okay. I like it. We will see how one encounter card for +2 cards. Spectrum can benefit from the aerial cards and Nova. Really good call there, Lucas. Yeah. AKA give to Star-Lord. But you can only play it. Okay, so yeah, if you pair Star-Lord up with an X-Force person. Or I guess you could build support it with Star-Lord, right? Because you can put IPAC into play, and it has a play restriction. So you could put this in Star-Lord's deck, build support, clear build support, get IPAC. Yeah, we're gonna run that with Star-Lord. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think a two-handed play really works with an X-Force Star-Lord. That's cool. That's really cool. I feel like they've gotten really good at making like really good situational cards where like I want this card in this deck. And that's what I really like about Lord of the Rings is we have a lot of those. We have a lot of cards that are, this is going to be epic when I'm running these dwarf combinations, right? And I'm never going to look at this card if we're not running that type of deck. And I think we're starting to get, not to that extreme, but we're starting to get some cards that are like that, where it's going to be like, this is going to be that perfect card for this situation. And I, especially in the life cycle of the game at this point, I'm happy about that. I'm really happy. So cool. Yeah. Got X Bunker. So this is a 2-cost support. Exhaust X Bunker and choose a player whose identity has the mutant trait. That player searches the top X cards of their deck for any card. X is the number of side schemes in the victory display and adds that card to their hand. Heck yeah, let's go. Cable needed more boost. Yeah, that's awesome. That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. Multiplayer or cable is going to really like that. That's cool. We got 3 copies of Telepathy. Psionic superpower. Play only if your identity has the psionic trait. Max 1 per player. We can exhaust telepathy, spend 2 mental resources to remove 2 threat from a scheme. I remember this was one of the cards that they had out in the article. I don't love this card. Now you can power the mind. It doubles for this, so it's fine. But it's 2 for 2, which is below what we need. It's a nice sync. I don't know. I don't really see myself running it that much. X Bunker is like an auto include for any X-Men or X-Force with an encounter like Hela. Oh yeah. Yeah. Or if you're going up against like galactic artifacts, things that are just gonna add to, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. We got Psy Bow attack. This is another psionic attack. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. This attack gains ranged. 2 for 4 is less than what we need, or what we want. It is restricted to psionic. It does help out with directed force. It becomes a 2 for 6, so that makes it a little bit better. But then, you know, it's also 1 extra resource to do that. You can run it with scimitar or scimitar, however you say that. That gets a little bit better, so that we have the psionic cards here. Situationally good. Again, like I like it. Oh, we got a domino. We got a domino here. 3 costs, 1, 2, 3. After you use one of Domino's basic powers, swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So cool. Just feels very Domino, emulates her hero form. Very cool stuff. And now technically you can run the posse, the basic card, outside of Domino. Because now we have Domino, we have Atlas Bear, and we have White Fox, so you can hit that requirement of having 3 posse characters to run the posse. Still don't think that's probably worth it, but it is a thing that you can do. Yeah, love it. It's good. 3 cost. Yeah, very, very good. Very, very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Cosmo likes it, right? This opens up digging deep for some other characters, and we can, you know, if we have digging deep, we can manipulate it just like Domino wants to do. But it, like I had the there are ways that you can do it. There are ways that you, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. Protection card. I love the green. Psy Flail Strike. Attack Psionic. Play only if your identity has the Psionic trait. 2 cost event. After you defend against an enemy attack, deal 3 damage to the enemy and stun it. This is, I think, a really good multiplayer card. I don't love it solo. You know what? Actually, I can appreciate it in solo. With, if we're going to go the, I'm not going to defend every round, but I can defend and prevent 2 villain activations now and deal 3 damage. I'm okay. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Then Telekinesis. Play only if your identity has the psionic trait. 1 cost upgrade. Exhaust Telekinesis. Spend 2 mental resources. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. This, okay, actually Telepathy is a little bit over the efficiency curve because it doesn't have the effective cost. It is 2 for 2, which is nice. We're looking for, no, we want to, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of these. Exhaust Telekinesis, spend 2 mental resources, deal 3 damage to an enemy. 2 for 3, not really where we want it to be. It has to be mental. Domino LA Guarismo. Yes, yes. Oh, it's so good. It's so cool. I'm not the biggest fan of the telepathy telekinesis. I am really happy with this pack though. We got Float Like a Butterfly, which is going to be really cool. I really like Cypher, Captain Britain, Concussive Blow. Upside the, or Concussive Blow is not that great. I mean, it is, but we already have it. Upside the Head is awesome. Lay the Trap. Really pumped about Float Like a Butterfly. Pete Wilson was okay. Directed Force is interesting. A lot of the cards are situation. iPack, I'm really excited for that Star-Lord play that we got. I actually don't need this Concussive Blow. We already have that in the binder. Soaring Hearts. It really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Those 2 upgrades feel kind of like Plan B to me, where at first I thought it was garbage. but later you figured out how to use them well. I think plan B is better. It's one card, it's one resource for 2 damage, whereas this is 2 resources for 3 damage. So it's a little bit less. It's not a random card, but it's also mental. It has to be mental, and I think that hurts. Like, you have Power of the Mind, which, like, I guess if you have telepathy, Power of the Mind is never a dead card in your hand, right? Because you can always Power of the Mind for 2. So that's nice. We'll play it. We'll try it. We'll absolutely try it. I'm just not 100% sold on it. Sweet. Alrighty. So, we're going to play Marvel Champions now. We got Psylocke, we got Angel. We're going to do both. We'll build a deck for them. I kind of want to do a Dive Bomb Angel deck. I just think that seems like just stupid amounts of fun. But I am not locked to one of these going first. What hero should we play first? You're not sold either. Totally. That absolutely could change. What hero should we play first? Are we playing Psylocke or are we playing Angel first? I will take whatever someone says in the chat. And I'm pumped. I'm going to go to my Be Right Back screen. If you have a preference, throw it in the chat. If you don't, we'll pick one randomly. But we will go ahead and get this set up. I got to grab a couple of things from behind me because I'm not actually set up to play yet. But let me know. We'll play both of them. We'll see what we go first. I'll see you all soon.